Today's show is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, only the top-rated sports booking app in all of North America. We love the fact that they are safe, secure, and reliable, ladies and gents. And you know, promo codes are always on deck whenever we're talking about anybody, but specifically when we're talking DraftKings. All you have to do is download the app. You make that initial bet of $5. Then from there, you will receive $200 in bonus bets by simply using the promo code MOATS. It's a cool concept, baby. They got a lot of different ways for you to potentially have some earnings go your way. But we also understand that at times, man, you can get lost in the sauce. It can be a little bit much on you, and gambling problems might become a part of your life. And if that is the case and you live in New York, that's a number for you to text. But for everybody else, you just simply dial 1-800-GAMBLER. Obviously, we've been a part of the conversations for two of the biggest wide receiver trades of this season. Brandon Ayuk, obviously he didn't get traded. He ended up staying, but we were in on him from the beginning of it all the way to the final contract being agreed upon. We were the last ones in it. With Davante Adams, was very similar, right? Soon as he became on the trade market, Steelers were instantly linked to him and had been linked to him this whole time prior to the news popping out about him, you know, being traded to the Jets. So with that, we looking at Amari Cooper, obviously getting traded to the Bills. How do we currently feel about our wide receivers?
I would have liked to have known that Amari Cooper was available.
Low-key, I would have as well.
Where'd that come from?
That was.
I guess Browns are officially tanking.
Low-key, that's what it feels like, right? Yeah.
I think they have their draft picks now going forward. Maybe that's what they're thinking.
Fair. And
this might be our first year with actually having draft picks.
I was going to say, because, yeah, Deshaun's been gone. He's been up there for, 3 years now? No, 2.
Did they have a first rounder last year? I can't even remember.
No, I thought it was like 2 years with no first rounders.
This might be the first year. So they're stocking up on picks.
But because I was like, they got a little bit of a young core around. When you talk JOK, you talk DeJuan Bland, you talk Del Pitt, those type of dudes. But yeah, it definitely seems like they're in the give it away mode right now. Trying to see what they're gonna do with Nick Chubb next.
Yeah, I wouldn't have mind trading a third round pick and a late round pick swap for Amari Cooper.
Low key, I'm right there with you.
I wouldn't have minded that.
I'm right there with you.
And I know you're not opposed to where he eventually ended up.
No, fair.
But yeah, Amari Cooper with the receivers that are available right now after Davante Adams just went to the Jets, he probably would have been on tops of my list for guys to go get.
I mean, let's be real.
It's him, it's Hopkins, you got like a Christian Kirk.
If we knew Amari
Deontay Johnson coming back.
If we knew Amari Cooper was available when Brandon Ayuk was being talked about.
Well, I guess he kind of was because the Browns did try to trade Cooper for Ayuk.
They did, but I feel like it kind of got lost in the shuffle because all the noise was on Ayuk, and it just looked like I felt like it came off in a version of, all right, the Niners were just entertaining or you know what I mean, just kind of entertaining what that would look like.
Or the Browns were just gonna give up Cooper as long as they got a receiver back.
Right. But it wasn't that they didn't want Cooper. It was just, all right, you get a chance to get younger at the position. This dude is, coming off his best season, et cetera, et cetera. But I guess in a way that should have been should have been a little bit of writing on the wall for us to see. We missed that one.
So, yeah, you have guys that I just mentioned, a Christian Kirk, maybe a Calvin Ridley, if he continues to voice his displeasure with the Titans. DeAndre Hopkins.
They showed the real, I guess, my man's 8 targets from the past game. Bro. Your man Levis was
not my man.
Yes, your man's, yo. It was
terrible.
bad.
I told you.
It was bad, bro. I think it was only one pass of the 8 targets that he had that was like actually in his vicinity where he could catch it, bro. Everything else was like pick, crazy underthrow, stupid overthrow. And you're just like, how are these his targets, man? Craziness, dude. Crazy.
Cortland Sutton's still out there, maybe. DK Metcalf. I don't know if that could be legit.
This is my problem, though.
Seahawks probably got to keep losing.
So, Deke, this is my only issue when you bring up a Cortland Sutton, you bring up a Christian Kirk. After knowing a Davante Adams went for a third, after seeing a Amari Cooper a third in the pick swap, I'm like, man, heck no, man. Them dudes suck compared to them dudes, man. I want one of them. I feel like now we getting further and further down the
Well,
barrel, man.
think of this though.
Give me one of
you
them,
just said
man.
yesterday.
I know.
We don't need Davante Adams.
We don't.
We don't need the
We don't.
top tier type of receiver just because of how our offense is.
And I agree, we don't. But daggone, it does feel good to just see one of them dudes, though. Does it not, Deke? Does it not feel good?
In a
to
vacuum,
now, if you're
we
the
could have given up a
Jets,
third-round pick for
If you're
Adams.
the Jets
Yes.
and you're going to look out and see Garrett Wilson and Davante Adams, you don't care about the rest of it. You can be like, bro, I got Garrett Wilson and Davante Adams. We're going to make some adjustments, man.
Especially if we are going to decide to start Russ.
all,
I think
bro.
that would hit different.
That's all, bro. Because
Russ-
you'd be like, whoa, all
Russ
right.
with
You
Davante
see what I'm
Adams
saying?
and
Come on,
Pickens.
man. Oh, Russ with Amari Cooper at Pickens. Russ with Deke at Pickens. Russ with anybody. That's
Still on the table.
It
We
is.
got 2 weeks till the trade deadline.
It is. I just wonder, like, because the Bills clearly were cooking that quietly. Maybe Omar's cooking something else quietly now.
You should be.
Because we were loudly in Davante's situation, right? We were in that the whole time. But this marks the second time now that we done took a L on one of these marquee guys.
Back.
Yeah. Do we got to up the offer? What's up? Is the con man losing the juice? What's up?
No, I'm not upping the offer for any of these guys that are available. Maybe DK. I probably would for DK.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, does this change anything, seeing what some of these receivers are going for deal-wise? We know with, like I said, the Jets, that situation
No,
is
I think we just got to pick the right one now.
Okay.
I think that's where we're at. And Deontay, I just saw an interview he was doing. It looks like he's expecting to be traded at this point from the Panthers.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if they're going to send him back, though.
Well, I saw something a couple weeks ago that said we can't trade for Deontay
It's the same season.
Yeah, there's something like you have to wait 2 years after you trade a player to a team for them to trade them back.
Probably the same season rule. Yeah.
I wonder if we could figure out a loophole to that, though.
I don't know, unless he got traded somewhere else. But we don't do the sign and trade stuff like how they do in the NBA. So I have no clue how that works. Because this would be uncharted territory. I mean, when have we ever heard of a player getting traded away and then getting traded right back within 6-7 months, man?
There's got to be a
I
way
mean, we
you could
literally
do
just traded that man away. If we would have cut him, it changes everything.
Well, I was going to say, what
That
if the
would've changed
Panthers
everything.
cut him and said, like,
Well,
hey,
yeah,
you
if
have
he's
to
a
sign
free
with the
agent,
Steelers, and then we trade a pick for, like, the 53rd player on the
then
Panthers roster.
then we're both going to get fined and get taken draft picks for collusion, and everybody's going to know this is collusion.
And
yes,
Deontay's got to be on board with that, too, because the Panthers
actually
could
wanna
cut
come
him,
back.
and then he could go sign with the Chiefs.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, because once he becomes a free agent, all bets are off. He could do what he wants,
He
kind
could
of like
just
Edmonds.
say, yeah, trust
Yeah.
me, Caroline, I'll do that.
Yep. He's like, hey, man, I appreciate everything y'all did for me. Yep. Thank you. I'm gone. I'm going to holler at you now. Yeah. I don't know, though, man. Like, that would probably be the only way, but Carolina's definitely not going to cut him solely because, number one, 6 months ago, they were part of the trade with us, right? Sending Dante Jackson to us, who we're definitely loving. But for them, I mean, DJ ain't been playing bad for them once they figured out the quarterback a little bit, but they just in a terrible situation anyways.
Yeah.
If he want to stay in blue, though, just send him out to Buffalo. He'll be all right.
No more receiver trades for them?
It's Curtis Samuel for Deontay Johnson. There you go.
No.
There you have it. Okay.
No way.
You see that Marquez Valdez Scantley.
No.
Deontay Johnson. There you go. You can have him. All right. Yep. Oh, man, I just got an alert on my watch. What that's? Oh, that's crazy. He a 5-time Pro Bowl. Oh, bro, this is a crazy day. D, I can't make this up, D. I don't know what's going on, bro. I'm just trying to talk some Steelers, bro. I just want to talk Steelers today, bro. Shout out to these wide receivers, though.
Well, we haven't got off on the right foot for this podcast.
It's not my. We've weakened a division opponent, and we've got a lot of new information on an upcoming opponent. See, I think we're in a good spot right now. Great spot.
Yeah, for these receiver trades, I think part of it too. I was thinking about this with the Davante Adams trade that just happened and him going to the Jets because I was wondering, did the Steelers miss out? And I was thinking, yes, in a vacuum, obviously, give up a third-round pick for Davante Adams. Mm-hmm. But then I thought about what you said yesterday, and then the fact that our quarterback situation is in a little bit of a flux. Like, we don't even know who's going to be our guy going forward. Mm-hmm. I don't know if we've necessarily missed out just yet. I would agree. Because what is the offense going to look like once we get a Cordell Patterson, Jaylen Warren back? And the fact that we already use all these heavy personnel sets and we barely are able to utilize the wide receiver one that we have right now, like how much was Davante Adams really going to change the game for us? Now, I still think we need a wide receiver too, but could we be getting the same impact from a guy like a Calvin Ridley or a DeAndre Hopkins for way less of the price.
No, I think that's very fair. And part of me agrees with that too. Our identity is bully ball. Our identity is take the air out the game, and you're going to make that mistake before we do, and we're going to force you into making that mistake. I think we would still have a similar approach, but I still give credit to Coach Tomlin in the sense that he also has the ability to adapt. And what I mean is, you think about how our offense is right now. We play a very slow pace, grind it out, we're not going to expose anything type of game. And he's had to do that mainly because of our quarterback personnel, whether you're talking Fields, whether you're talking Kenny, whether you're talking Duck, whether you're talking Mason, whether you're talking Mitch. But you think about during the Killer Bee era when Todd Haley was here. We didn't take that similar approach of let's slow play. We still had a physical identity, meaning you were going to still see Le'Veon Bell running behind with the Will Johnson out there, with the Matt Spaeth out there, with the Jesse James out there, with the Heath Miller out there, with the Ladarius Green. You were going to still get that. But at the same time, it's like you got Antonio Brown over here. You got a dude that you can actually get off throwing the ball to. Oh, a Juju's in the building now. Oh, we can throw a little bit more. Oh, we got a Martavis. So we still never really got all the way away from the identity, but we were able to almost make it a little bit more hybrid. And I think with one of those type of receivers, I just think that in a way we would pivot to that a little bit more. Whereas right now, because we don't have that additional piece, we're just locked into, hey, this is what we know works right now, and we're trying to win games. But I do think if one of those guys were here, he would adjust that part. And I don't think it would kill it because those guys would, they produce. So that's the big reason of why we wouldn't have to stay this, slow play. It's like, I got a dude over here that can actually, he can't hurt you right here. And I think that that's the part that we both have been saying, whether it's more production by Calvin, focusing on him more, or actually getting one of these guys who already have the proven production and pedigree, bringing him in, that could also be just as effective.
Do you have a guy from that list of names?
Calvin really sounds great to me, man, because he still get open, and I think he's the youngest of the bunch. I think his production is the most consistent.
When I'm talking him, Smith.
I didn't even think about that.
But it's not a real one because if anything, it's a negative
right?
connection.
No, he got suspended.
Yeah. So if anything, Arthur Smith might be looking at Calvin Ridley and be like, "Dude, you kind of bailed on me that season, man." Like,
but
that
hell? Was the year he was supposed to be betting on the squad, right?
No. He sat out for like mental whatever, and then he gambled. No, that's what happened. He sat he
stayed away from the mental health. I remember that,
dude. So he missed like a season and a half. And then he got traded midway through his suspension.
It was back to back. I'm thinking solely about the suspension. You're right. He did sit
out. Like 5 games in. He's having a decent season. He's like, I'm going to sit out the rest of the season.
You're right.
And then he gets suspended during
that. Yeah.
And then the next year, in the middle of his suspension,
that's when he
gets traded to the Jaguars.
Yeah, I forgot all about the mental health
so maybe
part.
It's not a good connection.
Yeah. I could definitely see him seeing that, you bailed on me. I could see that part. But hey, man, maybe they both say fresh start, new beginnings, man. Turnover to leave.
I'm sure that would be the case. Calvin Ridley would love to get out of Tennessee, and Arthur Smith, I don't think he would mind having Calvin Ridley added to this offense. Arthur Smith doesn't seem like a guy that holds grudges.
I don't know.
You think?
I don't know him like that. I just look at him. I'll be like, I can see him having a grudge look. I can see him being like, yeah, got your ass now. I can see that. I don't know. He likes to run the football, man. He's pepper him, pound him.
He just seems like a nice guy. It doesn't really seem like anything negative comes out of his mouth or he's taking shots at anyone.
Well, he is an Arthur, so I trust him. How about that?
There you go.
Yeah, you gotta trust Arthur, man.
Yeah, I don't really have a big of a preference for
Remix called it.
It is
the mustache. You're right. It's the mustache. I'm like, something's real peculiar about him. I just feel like he'll stick it to you one time, man. It's definitely the mustache. Yeah. It goes, though. It goes with his appearance.
Yeah, he doesn't have a grand personality.
Yeah, it's definitely that, though.
But doesn't come off as a guy that holds grudges.
Yeah. I like him.
Or is petty.
I like him.
But out of those names on the list, I don't really have a grand preference. It's just, to me, at this point, who's actually available. Because we could throw DK Metcalf in there or Sutton, but are they actually available?
I don't think
Hopkins and Ridley are likely, I'd say, at this point.
they're available, yeah. I think definitely
Christian
Hopkins,
Kirk.
definitely Ridley. Kirk, yes, but I don't prefer Kirk out of that group.
Sure.
And he's a small receiver. Like if I'm gonna go get a receiver, like I prefer the Calvin Ridley, the DK obviously, or the Hopkins. But to me personally, I think that Ridley has a little bit more juice running his routes. When you watch his separation, you watch his burst. I think it's just a younger athlete. Where you talk about DeAndre Hopkins, he still is getting it done, but it's more of the savviness. It's the I know how to step on your toe before I, break off of this route to make you think I'm about to push this route a little bit more vertical. Those little details, D-Hop is giving you that. But you can definitely see the difference athleticism-wise right now between D-Hop and Calvin Ridley.
I would like Deontay Johnson, but I don't know if it's possible.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like it's possible.
If we could break that rule somehow, some way, or if the Panthers just cut him, I would love that one. I would definitely love that one.
There's no way they're cutting him.
Yeah, I don't.
Someone would trade a late round pick for him easily.
I told you I got a place you can go. I already told you that. Hey, clearly they're in the market for doing business today.
I'm trying to think of other teams, other
You
scenarios.
think the Jets would want him?
Deontay?
Yeah.
Yeah. They got
Because you
enough
said Mike.
receivers at this
You
point.
said Mike Williams. If you're gonna get rid of him,
I don't want him.
fair. I'm just saying, like, if they're gonna get rid of that opens the door for another. Yeah. They might just try to revamp the whole spot.
I'll take my chances with a Martavis Bryant over Mike Williams at this point.
Fair enough. What about do we have any updates on Mechie? What's going on with him? He's still not getting any usage, right?
Yeah. I'd rather get one of those other guys, though.
I would as well.
He's in a tier or maybe 2 tiers below.
1,000%. That's fair. Ridley is the number of the list of guys you named. Ridley is the one that I would be eyeing the most.
Which is crazy because they just signed him.
I know, but everything is going bad down there.
Yeah, keep complaining.
Yeah,
Make it loud.
come on, man. What was it say?
Titans will have no option but to trade you.
The squeaky wheel gets the oil. All
Yeah.
right? Squeaky
I've
wheel
heard
gets
that
the oil,
saying.
man.